Hey there, yogis. Welcome to Embrace Change Yoga, where we help you to embrace your body, change your mind, and transform your life. This is going to be a 20-minute beginner's yoga asana. Let's get started. We'll start at the top of our mat, standing with toes, heels, and ankle to touch in mountain pose. This is the way it looks from the front. Engaging the legs, engaging the muscles on either side of the kneecap. Draw your low belly in, up and down. Lift the heart, keep the chin parallel with the mat. Fingertips can be spread wide, arms can be open so that the front of the elbows are facing the same direction as the front of the body. Relax the tailbone down. Keep the thighs, hips, core engaged. Inhale the arms up above the head. Drop the hips down. Sit into an imaginary chair behind you. Chair pose. Keep sitting your hips back and down, pushing the knees forward. Pull the low belly in. Keep the chest lifted. Breathe. Inhale, lift the body up. Upward hand salute. Give yourself a slight arc back. Keep the chest open, chin open. Lean back from the middle back and the upper back. Engage the core. Engage the bum. Breathe. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forward. Deep forward fold. Bend the knees deeply. Place the hands down onto the mat and begin to lift alternate heels, walking out the feet. Still the feet. Drop the back of the head down towards the mat. Take the hands, left hand behind left calf, right hand behind right calf. Find balance in the feet. Engage the core. You may need to lift up and give your belly some room. Again, drop the head down, back of the head down towards the mat, palms on the back of the calves. Bend the knees as much as you need to find your breath here. And release. Come down onto the hands and the knees into a tabletop position. We're going to do several cat-cows here, moving at your own breath. We'll take the first two together. For cat, you want to arc the spine up towards the ceiling. Exhale the air out of the belly, engage the core, pull in the low belly, drop the head between the biceps, tuck the tailbone, hips under the body. Cat. For cow, we drop the spine down towards the mat. Keep the belly engaged through this round of cat cows. Relax the shoulders down the spine. Arc the hips up to the ceiling. Lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Keep the chin parallel with the mat. Cow. Exhale, arc the spine up towards the ceiling. We're going back into cat. Tuck the tailbone under. Bring the chin to the chest. Cat. Inhale for cow. Relax the shoulders, down the spine. Lift the hips, lift the heart. Even lift the eyeballs. And moving on your own inhale and exhale. As you exhale, arc the spine up into cat. As you inhale, drop the spine down into cow. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Coming back to a neutral spine after your next exhale. We'll do a little shoulder twist. So taking the left arm long up towards the ceiling, right palm planted into the mat, we're going to thread that left arm in between the space between the thigh and the right arm down on the mat. We're going to try our best to relax our shoulder and the ear down onto the mat. A little spinal twist. And you can keep the right palm by the face, or you can extend it nice and long up towards the top of the mat. Instead of allowing your hips to sink over to the right side of the body, pull the hips so the knees are still stacked directly under the hips, hips on top of the knees. Feel it stretch a little deeper into that left side body. Gaze up under your right armpit. Try to bring the left ear onto the mat and breathe. On your exhale, begin to place that right hand back in front of the face and push yourself back up to tabletop. Always coming back to your breath throughout your practice. Remember to listen to your body. I may give you instructions, but your body is going to be your best teacher. Extend that right arm up towards the ceiling. Now we'll thread and that right arm in between the left arm, left leg still down on the mat. Keep the left palm by the face for support. If you like to here, bring the right hips back towards the right side of the body, stacking hips on top of knees. If you'd like to take it deeper, release that left arm long in front towards the top of the mat. A little spinal twist, a little shoulder stretch. The goal is, in this asana sequence, is to really invite flexion and extension into the spine, keeping our spine healthy, low back, middle back, and upper back. Here we're doing a twist, so we've taken our spine in every direction it can possibly go. And from here, we'll do a gentle child's pose. So sit your hips back, allow the tops of the feet to come down onto the mat. Big toes can touch if possible, creating space between the inner thighs so you can fit your belly in between and your torso can be supported. We're not going to take the knees too wide because I want to keep the support in the body for the torso. From here, just start with the arms extended long, and we're working to get our forehead down onto the mat. So walk your hands out long in front of you, allowing a nice extension to come into the spine, really creating space in between each vertebrae, walking the fingertips as far as they'll go. Don't worry too much about the shoulders crowding the ears. And lift the hips up until the forehead comes down onto the mat. Now, depending on what time of day you're doing child's pose, you might notice more tightness or less. You might notice this is a lot easier later in the evening than it is early in the morning. But let's observe our body without judgment. Bring the hands back towards the feet, child's pose. When the arms are extended out long, that is active child's pose. I don't want you active here. I want you supported, torso supported, head supported. Breathe. If you notice any tight areas in the body, in the neck of the shoulders, in the low back, in the toes, arches of the foot, and the fingers, I want you to take your next breath and send it using your imagination, tapping back into that childlike imagination. Just imagine you could fixate on a point, and as you breathe in, the breath is sent to that one point in the body. Focus on one point at a time. 2 more breaths here. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. We're going to push ourselves back up. Here we're going to go into downward dog. So tuck the toes underneath so that they're starting to create little breaks and getting a little bit of a toe stretch here. We're going to extend the hips up and towards the back of our mat, up towards the ceiling and towards the back of our mat. Extending the arms long. Soft part of the armpits are faced away from the body. And extend our heels back towards the back of the room and down towards the mat. Allow the chest to rock back towards the knees. Allow the back of the head to drop towards the mat so the head hangs nice and long. Two more breaths. Coming down onto the knees. Let's go back to child's pose again. This time you can choose the option to extend the knees out to the edge of the mat and creating more space in between the thighs for your upper body, torso, belly. Or you can do like we did before. If there's some place in between that feels good for you, find that place. Bring the forehead down. Relax the hands back towards the feet. Again, child's pose. Again, noticing any tight spots or tension popping up in the body. Find that one place that is asking for the most attention, and again, use your imagination, use your focus to send your next breath to that spot. Coming on up at a child's pose, let's come to lay on our back. With the knees bent, grab behind the thighs, lower yourself down onto the mat. We're going to do a bridge pose here. With the feet flat on the mat, walk your heels back towards your bum as much as possible. So much so that when you reach down with your middle fingers of your palms, you can graze the back of your heels. In this pose, we're working to lift our hips up. Our chest will automatically come up, and we'll also be working to rock our chest towards our chin. Not pulling the chin towards the chest, but bringing the chest closer to the chin. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So that creates a natural back bend in the upper back. You can walk the shoulder blades closer together under the body. You can interlace the fingers under the body and drop them down to the mat if that's accessible to you. But let's continue to focus primarily on lifting the hips up towards the ceiling, bringing the chest closer to the chin, keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Breathe. One more breath. And lower the hips slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, lowering the back down towards the mat, lowering the hips to the mat. Windshield wiper the legs, so sending both knees to the left side, bringing them back to center, over to the right side, and back to center. Come back with the feet flat on the mat. Let's go into bridge again. If you like, you can even hold on to the sides of the mat to give yourself a little resistance as you lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. On your exhale, lift the hips, go up. Lift the hips up. Chest comes back towards the chin. Back of the neck is nice and long. Lift the hips higher. Go up, way up. Relax those fingers. Relax the toes. Lift up and release. Beautiful. Extending both legs long onto the mat. Lift the arms up above the head. Give yourself a nice, deep, long stretch from the tips of the toes to the tips of the fingers. Bring the right knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers just a few inches below the knee. Or, if that's not accessible, bring the fingers, palms, to the back of the thigh. Bring that knee into the chest and a little over to the side of the body, like the armpit side of the body. Use the strength in the forearms and the hands to bring the knee closer to the chest. Keep the foot on the floor flat, flexed. Keep the foot in your hand relaxed. Flat and relaxed means flexed. That's what I was trying to say. Breathing deeply. Release the leg up to the ceiling, point the toes, flex the foot, relax the foot down towards the mat. Other leg, left leg, comes into the chest, interlace the fingers just a few inches below the knee, or bring the fingers interlaced behind the thigh, bringing that left knee into the chest, but slightly to the outside of the body, armpit side of the body. Flex the foot on the floor, relax the foot in the hand. Breathe. Keeping your shoulders out of this pose as much as possible. using the forearm, the hands, maybe a little bit of the biceps, but don't allow the shoulders to tense up too much here. We don't need their help right now. Use the strength in the other parts of your body to support you in this pose. Beautiful. Extend the foot up towards the ceiling, point the foot, flex the foot, relax the leg down towards the mat. Inhale, bring the arms up above the head. On your exhale, sit yourself up very quickly. And we'll extend the right foot, bring the left foot in towards the groin. Arms go up towards the ceiling. Turn your torso over to the right leg. Relax the body over the leg. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, back to center. You might want to release the flesh of the bum here if you've got a little extra cushion, so that you can get your sits bones, your pelvic bones, a little bit more balanced in your body and with the mat. Let's do that again. Inhale, the arms up above the head. Turn the torso over towards the right leg. Flex those right toes and lower the torso over the right leg. You can place hands onto the shin. You can place hands onto the mat. Wherever you place your hands, just keep them balanced with one another. So don't have one leg, one hand on the knee, and the other one on the foot. That's unbalanced in the body. We're always looking for the balance, so let's create the balance here. We've balanced out our hips. Torso is extended over the leg, and even with one leg bent, we can create balance with the torso, even when the lower body seems to be doing something out of balance. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold deeper into the pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, the arms on up. Turn the torso. Let's switch out the legs. So extend the left leg. Right leg comes in towards the groin. You may want to lift yourself up and just pull the flesh out from underneath the sits bones. Inhale, the arms up. Turn the torso over that left thigh and relax the torso down. Hands on either side of the leg. Flex the foot back towards you, towards the nose. Inhales, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Three more breaths. Inhale, lift the arms, lift the torso. And we're going to end in Shavasana. Coming into Savasana, legs are as wide as the mat. You can begin to lower the torso down onto the mat. Use the elbows to support you as you lower down. Bend the knees. And again, any flesh of the bum that's keeping you from relaxing in the pose, tuck your tailbone under, push the bum down away from the spine, and then lower the legs back down onto the mat. With the shoulders, I like to bring my hands, arms across the torso, give myself a nice big hug, lift my head up a bit, and then lower the back of the head, shoulders onto the mat, uncross the arms, and there's a little bit more space in between the shoulder blades. Backs of the palms, backs of the arms are flat on the mat or floor beside you. Palms face up. Allow your breathing to return to normal. No more ujjayi or conqueror's breath. And for every 10 minutes of active asana, we should spend at least 1 minute in, the recommendation is to spend 1 minute in savasana or corpse pose. This is where all the work that we've put in our asana, all the activity or rest is incorporated into our nervous system, lymph system, the greater yoking of the mind, body, and the soul together is throughout the yoga practice. But in this pose, it is most prolific. And when you're ready, begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and you come into a sleeping fetal position. You can push yourself back up and meet me in an easy sitting pose for yourself here on the mat. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice. I honor and see the light in you as I honor and see the light in me. Have a great rest of your day. Namaste.